Is Marvin Vettori next in line for the UFC middleweight title? That is a question we are asking ourselves coming out of his UFC on ABC2 victory over Kevin Holland on Saturday, a dominant, lopsided, unanimous decision in which Vettori relied heavily on his wrestling, the path of least resistance in there to grind Holland out, get a very convincing win on the scorecards, and with 5 consecutive victories now, he is saying that he is absolutely next to challenge champion Israel Adesanya. I don't know if that is going to happen for him, but I would not rule it out as a complete possibility at this point. I think it really depends a lot on what happens this coming Saturday between Robert Whittaker and Kelvin Gastelum. I think if Whittaker wins that fight, his resume of having beaten Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, and then Gastelum would be much stronger and warrant that rematch with Adesanya after losing his title a little less than 2 years ago. I think that is the logical fight for this division, but if Whittaker perhaps doesn't look very impressive or suffers an injury and wins in the fight or loses the fight, that definitely opens up a path for Marvin Vettori to potentially get that rematch with Adesanya he's been wanting for so long. Of course, those two first met at UFC on Fox 29 in April of 2018, a split decision result. It was a close fight, definitely a lot earlier in Adesanya's career. I think he has evolved a lot since then, but so has Vettori. I think he is definitely a legitimate top middleweight contender at this point. I just don't know if a win like this in particular is going to be the one that gets him over the hump for that title shot. Definitely the way Vettori should have fought in there against Holland. We know the flaws he had coming off that loss to Derek Brunson, but is it going to be the type of performance that wants the UFC to get 100% behind him and push him into that title shot against Adesanya, who, as we know, is one of the biggest stars in the sport? Is that the big lucrative fight they're looking for? I do think Whittaker is a bigger fight for the division and for the sport right now, so I think it's a wait and see approach on what happens with that main event next week. If you are Marvin Vettori, you are definitely crossing your fingers and toes, hoping that Whittaker either loses or does not look good at all, and then your case definitely goes up and it becomes a lot more realistic. But as things stand now, I don't think Vettori is going to get that title shot, and if I was looking around for him, I would definitely look at, if it's possible, rebooking the fight that was supposed to happen on this date with Darren Till. Till did suffer a collarbone injury, though, a broken collarbone that could keep him out for quite a while, and that could put him off the table for Vettori, who we know likes to keep active. So if I'm Vettori, I maybe look at Derek Brunson, who just beat Kevin Holland, of course, 21 days prior to his win. I think the fact that both these guys won in a similar way, are streaking on runs up this division, both want a title shot, and I think that would be a perfect bit of matchmaking right there. But if I'm Vettori, I'm definitely not rushing to sign the contract on anything else. I'm looking around, seeing how this division plays out. Potentially he gets that title shot, but if he is forced to fight once more, I do not think Brunson is a bad matchup for him coming off this win over Kevin Holland.